tell my bitch get ready to go. Give her a mission, she bring me the dope. I tell my bitch get ready to go. I tell my bitch get.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Raul Hinojosa, and I'm a mental performance coach. Okay, so today's video is something that is extremely important to me because I love the sport of powerlifting, and this is honestly what has kept me going in this profession as a sports psychology professional. Okay, obviously, I work for the military for my day job, but on the side, I love working with athletes. I love working with powerlifters. I like helping them build that dog mentality to add a few more kilos to the bar. And that's where Hinokilo performance came in, right? Anyways, a little quick backstory. Today I wanted to talk about how people tend to have a very short lifespan in the sport of powerlifting. So the average lifespan of somebody in the sport is roughly 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and they might have 2 to 3 meets under their belt, and then they call it, okay? Is that a bad thing? No, right? Some people that, the sport's not for everybody, okay? And that's fine. And I'm not saying that as a barrier to entry. People just want to try it out and they do it. Hey, this was a cool experience. I love it. But it's just not that it's something that I want to do all the time. I just like lifting heavy, had a good time competing. That's fine. We have casual athletes in all kinds of sports, right? Some people play baseball, some people play slow pitch, right? I call it beer league. Then you also have people who play or who run track. You have the 37U football players, right? You got all the people that just play for fun and they just do it because they enjoy it. That's perfectly fine. So this is more or less targeted to those athletes that really like the sport, but their mindset is not where it needs to be productive and to move to that next level, right? Whether it's novice to intermediate or intermediate to elite, okay? What's the thing that separates the most intermediate lifters from other intermediate lifters? It's their mindset, right? There's going to be a massive wave of lifters who are in that intermediate stage, but there's only going to be a select few that have the mindset to move into that elite category. What is that? What does it look like? Why is it that elite lifters even make it that far into the sport, right? Is it because they're gifted and talented, or is it because they have a significant work ethic? It can be a balance of both, right? There's some people that are gifted at, they have leverages for big deadlifts, they have, or big bench presses, squats. People have those leverages, okay? But the leverages mean nothing if your mindset is not where it needs to be, okay? Going back. So when it comes to people leaving the sport, one of the big things that people leave the sport for is not having a clear vision, right? What's your vision? What are you doing in the sport? What do you want out of it? Are you just a casual athlete? And that's fine. Are you wanting to make it to IPF Worlds? Are you wanting to make it to some big cash money meet? Right? What are you wanting to secure an invite and just not go? Just get that invite or be eligible to receive an invite. What is your purpose? Okay. And I think this is one of the first foundational things that the lifters should find out early on, because this will kind of help lead into everything else. Okay. So if you have that vision that you want at the end of the tunnel, it's going to be easier to plan for it, right? It's going to be easier to have a roadmap. You're going to be more on a tracked path instead of a random walkway in a field going, to who knows where. So the motivator that you want to find is a little bit more intrinsic, okay? Are you doing this because it brings you joy? Do you like having heavy weight on your back? Do you like feeling heavyweight? Do you like having that satisfaction of having benched 400 pounds or 300 pounds or 225, whatever it is, right? Are you striving for that? Is that something that brings you joy and happiness? Or do you look forward to every day whenever you get out of work? Or are you just chasing clout on Instagram? Nothing wrong with either one, okay? I'm going to be upfront and say that, and I truly mean that, because sometimes we just need some sort of release, and this is that, and the sport can be exactly that. The reason is if you have a bad meet or a bad training session and you are not sure why you're doing the sport, it can have a big mental toll on you. Okay, like if you're already having a bad day and you don't want to compete in powerlifting because it brings you joy, and then you have a bad training session, it's just compounded that bad day that you had. It just maybe sunk you into a bigger depression because now you're kind of having more doubts as to why you're even there in the first place. You're wasting time, things like that. And you're not really looking forward to it, right? Versus if you have a bad day and you look forward to the gym and you look forward to lifting heavy, right? Even if you fell, like you're just happy to be there, okay? And your longevity is going to be much longer, right? You're going to have much better longevity in the sport if you have that intrinsic motivator, right? What is it, right? Are you doing it are you doing it because it brings you joy, or are you doing it because you're chasing something, right? And that thing's going to bring you joy, and that's fine too. If cloud chasing brings you joy and happiness, go 100%. Just the biggest thing that I want people to find out is and build is self-awareness. Be self-aware of what you're doing this for. Because once you build that self-awareness, you're going to be able to go as far as you want, okay? And the second one is identity, okay? Whenever we go into gyms, we usually identify ourselves like, hey, my name's Roel, I'm a big power lifter, right? Or I love powerlifting, right? Maybe I wouldn't say I'm a big power lifter. I'd just say I'm a power lifter, okay? Not I compete in powerlifting. I'm saying I am a power lifter. Okay, and that's fine. This is a double-edged sword, okay? And hear me out. If you're identifying as a power lifter or a bodybuilder or anything other than who you are, like your name, and something bad happens in that sport, right? Whether you get hurt or whether you miss a lift or you make a bad play in that game, whatever it is, you almost kind of set yourself up for a personal attack on yourself. Okay, if you're identifying outside of your name and you're choosing this sport to be your identity, and that thing happens, you're going to have a bad time whenever that does happen because you're going to feel frustrated, you're going to feel angry, you might feel sad, depressed. You're going to experience all kinds of different emotions. Okay, so how can you leverage your identity as this athlete to be more productive than counterproductive? How can you prepare for those bad plays or bad training sessions or bad competitions to be less counterproductive and just kind of fuel you for the next training sessions? So when I say that is if you have a bad meet, what are you going to tell yourself to keep you grounded in reality and help you stay motivated to continue training in the sport? Okay, those are some big things that you need to identify within yourself to increase longevity in the sport, decrease the risk of negative mental tolls when things go wrong, and just finding joy in doing the sport, not just wasting your time or not just going through the motions. You could not just going through the motions, because you could honestly, if you're just going through the motions and you don't find happiness or joy, you could honestly pick up a different hobby and be more productive with your time. Because ultimately, like, above all, I'm here in this profession helping you guys be the best you can be in whatever it is, okay? But I also want you guys to build self-awareness to understand when it's time to walk away or when it's time to look forward, do something else. Like, hey, maybe I need to focus my energies on something else. Have that self-awareness to do those things, okay? But that's all I got. I really appreciate you guys watching. Follow me on all my socials. I have another idea planned for my next video on mindset or a different part of mindset in powerlifting and bodybuilding as well. That's going to be coming out to you guys next week. But I really appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I like to read them. I like to respond to Instagram comments and things like that. But other than that, you guys have a great one. Peace.